work for Akina Afrika, a lead organization implementing the ICGR Civil Society Network grant on Amplified Change Network. Akina is a Pan-African region organization that aims at promoting full equality of all African women through strengthening the collective and individual leadership, and also by forming strategic partnerships to tackle patriarchy and promote a just Africa. This is done through research and documentation, policy and advocacy, and feminist leadership trainings that are normally carried through our renowned African Women's Leadership Institute. The Amplify project is about mobilizing the civil society organizations from the Great Lakes region, especially from the three countries of Central African Republic, Democratic Republic of Congo, and Uganda to monitor the implementation of SRHR policies, specifically the Kampala Declaration. We all know that following its signing in 2011, we've continued to see sexual and gender-based violence being committed with impunity, most especially in conflict and post-conflict countries like DRC and Central African Republic. For example, the Uganda Crime Report of 2010 shows that 8,645 women were raped, and in Central African Republic, 2/3 of 125 women were reported to have been gang raped. And we've seen so many women go without psychosocial and medical intervention. All these call for civil society voices to ensure that our governments deliver to their commitments. The changes we want to see at the end of this project include a vibrant national and regional civil society forum, knowledgeable of the advocacy and policy processes in the whole region about SGBV. We also want to see appreciation of women's rights and freedom from sexual and gender-based violence. And then we want to see improved state or government's commitments, for example, budget allocation to implementation of the commitments. The Amplified Change grant is important to us because it's supporting a campaign targeting different stakeholders, governments inclusive, a campaign that aims at ending sexual and gender-based violence, an issue that is most often given less attention by most government partners. And also, the grant is important to us as Akina Afrika because it's contributing to the co-funding of the organization, thus enabling the staff members not only to implement Amplify activities, but look at other activities that contribute to the empowerment of women in general. Implementation of Amplified Change project kick-started in Central African Republic, and the achievements so far include enabling establishment of the ICGR National Civil Society Forum in Central African Republic, a mechanism through which the Amplify project will be implemented in Central African Republic. Also, establishment of the forum enabled us to have 5 representatives of the National Forum to participate at the 2nd General Assembly meeting that took place in Dar es Salaam in March. This enabled a space for them to engage in ICGR processes, and luckily enough, one of the members was elected a member of the Regional Civil Society Forum Committee, a committee that coordinates the regional civil society activities at the regional level. Further, the grant contributed to enhancement of skills for the Central African Republic Civil Society Forum members in advocacy and monitoring. This was through a 4-day capacity building training organized for the forum for the newly elected Forum members on advocacy, monitoring, message development, targeting different stakeholders. This was a much needed space for them to analyze and reflect on priority issues that do affect or do cause or contribute to sexual and gender-based violence in Central African Republic. Priority issues were identified and a work plan developed that the Civil Society Forum will follow for the next 2 years. This was very powerful on our side because this showed a commitment for them to move as a collective to address sexual and gender-based violence issues in Central African Republic. Some of the priority issues highlighted in the action plan include holding a national symposium, bringing together all the stakeholders to kind of have the thoughts on what they needed to include or reviews that needed to happen in as far as SGBV laws and policies are concerned. Secondly, they highlighted the whole lot of supporting them to advocate for the legalization of the army codes to ensure that perpetrators, especially the men in uniform, are brought to books, and also to support the reinstatement of the judicial system in Central African Republic to be able to handle the cases of SGBV so that the victims or survivors get the justice that they do deserve. It should, however, be noted that the funds will support similar initiatives in other implementing countries like Uganda and DRC to do also capacity development in advocacy of forum members as well as documentation of SGBV cases. Changes registered include attitude change and appreciation of SGBV as a violation of women's reproductive health and rights, and also there are efforts, collective efforts by the Civil Society Forum to contribute to ending SGBV in Central African Republic. The approaches we are using to implement the Amplify project change in the 3 countries include capacity development for network members in advocacy and monitoring, then capacity development for media houses to report sensitively on SGBV cases. We also use research and documentation to ensure that we amplify the voices. We document case studies of survivors to be able to use them in our advocacy. And also we have to do annual reviews on some of the laws like the Kampala Declaration on SGBV, Goma Declaration, and other international conventions relating to SGBV. Another approach will be through creation of reflectional spaces, bringing together all the civil society members from the 12 countries to ensure that their voices are amplified, and also come up with next steps on following up on the commitments of the heads of states and governments in the Great Lakes region.